Hey everyone, the Wagon Wheel of Wisdom here. Please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell notifications down below if you haven't already. Hey folks, and welcome back to another episode of the Wagon Wheel of Wisdom. I am Kevin, your host. Behind me, as usual, the beautiful Wagon Wheel, and hopefully still a little wisdom up here. Going to do a little off-the-cuff video. I've done a couple of these in the past, but something's kind of shifted today that has me thinking on something, and it's the topic of love. Along this journey so far, and I just want to preface this for people that are new, I've been on this journey now for only about 4 months, and I say only because a lot of other people have been on this journey a lot longer than I have. And I hope in some capacity these videos are helping in that area to have your twin come back, so you guys can be a part of something big. Because the more I dive into this and align myself with people that speak from an area of truth, it just seems like it's all supposed to happen in that manner, as long as we're willing to accept the situation as it is, look deep within ourselves, and move to an area of loving ourselves. And I'm under the firm belief at this moment in time that has been a massive area of lack within me. Now, the reason I would say something like that is in most of my relationships, and this is even per my ex-wife, she goes, you dive in with both, or jump in with both feet, she said. Like, when you want a relationship, you become almost a little overbearing. And she hesitated when she said a little because she meant kind of a lot. And there was a counselor that I was working with one time, and he had spoke up to me and he goes, you know, Kevin, there's one unique thing about you, and is that's you just want somebody to love you as hard as you love them. The more I've dove into these two things, and my ex-wife would know, we were together for 16 years. We have very open and honest dialogue about things now. We've actually become incredibly close, great friends, talk about dating with one another. We realize in the grander scheme of things that we can't be a functional couple that lives together like the traditional sense, married and whatnot, but from a distance where we split custody with our son, it's best to give him, in our opinion, the best of both worlds, where he still gets a mom and dad that work together and he doesn't see, fighting amongst themselves like I see so often with other couples. But what I'm getting at here is this notion of love. And I'm just going to bring up my ex, my twin soul on this one. I told her I love you very early on. And it was something that really, it kind of rocked her back a little bit. And by early on, I want to say maybe a month and a half into it, I said it, probably closer to a month. And I forget exactly what she said, so I'm going to paraphrase a little bit here, but she implied that, I guess the long and short of was that it scared her. That she had referenced a lot of people say love when they really don't know what it means. At the time, of course, me being in my ego thinking, no, I know that I love you. I'm realizing today that was impossible. I love the idea of what she brought to the table and how I felt around her. Now, this isn't going to take away from the aspect of when we meet this soul. There's something about it that just feels absolutely magnetic. I've heard it from many people in the comments that it blew them away. The feeling of oneness and closeness, I have no comparison for anything else on my 46 years on this planet. Nothing compares to what I felt when I was with her. And so in that arena, I do believe I was confusing ego love versus soul love. And here's the reason I'm going to talk about that a little bit. Soul love, what I'm learning as I'm slowly detaching myself from the relationship itself and from my ex, is that soul love is in here. That it's all-encompassing of your being, but what you feel within yourself. The love of maybe hanging out, like if you're like me right now, I kind of go, I'm a lone wolf. I'll hang out with friends and whatnot, and I'll sometimes go out into crowds. I still have a little bit of trouble with that since the breakup, but for the most part, I'm walking alone. I don't do dating websites. I have no interest in the opposite sex or the same sex for that matter. Um, just nothing really interests me, but at the same time, I don't feel lonely. At least anymore, I don't. The more I've been in this state of working on meditations, the journaling, I'm in love with reading like a madman. As I said earlier, I read this book in a day's time. One before that, it took me 2 days. Like it's something has seriously shifted in me, but the shift is just me loving to be around me, like my own company. And so I really understand now where my ex was coming from when she said that about being careful. You know, the more I think back to it, the more I kind of re-fall in love with her again. Just, I mean, she was giving me these little wisdoms and nuggets of wisdom, but they just kind of they blew over my head because I was so caught up in the moment of just being with her and being present with her and enjoying her company. But at the same time, when I think back at conversations, instead of me doing the old where I'm thinking, you know, negative thoughts of she said this to me, she deserves karma, etc., etc. I'm now shifting that up in a major way and listening to the things that she said in a positive way because it's helping me realize that she was right, man. Like she's got some genius about her. And it's my hope that as I'm moving along here and going through this process and studying and reading, that from a coaching perspective, I'm helping you guys shift your mindsets a little bit too into a different direction of positivity. If you're maybe looping in that negative aspect of, oh, they did me wrong. And as I said this morning, I was having negative thoughts again, but I took an hour and a half walk today, went 5 miles. One of the miles I ran trail running through the woods. So just that sort of stuff that has just become the best medicine. And the other medicine, and something I'm very thankful for, is how much the community here has already grown. I think I'm at like 417 subscribers. I just started doing this on August 20th. A lot of views, some great feedback, great conversations, and to me, that's what this should be. It should be us as a group coming together, bouncing ideas off one another, maybe saying what works and what doesn't, because the other videos, and I don't like doing this, I don't like ripping on other videos, but it just, I always would get the undertones of they want to make you think that you're always looping if you're always thinking about them. And I disagree with that on every single level. The more I put a positive spin on the things that she said in a loving manner, the more I actually detach from her in a healthy way. At least that's what I'm noticing. I'm thinking about her less negatively. And the negative thoughts go on forever. Like they don't stop. The positive ones, it's in the moment, it's beautiful. You know, I'll smile, I'll tear up a little bit, but then they sort of fade, just like a breeze. So I'm hesitant to believe that thinking about somebody in a loving light is causing a negative energetic tone in their body for one's soul. That doesn't make any sense to me. There's no way that adds up. Not in ego-based logic or even soul-based logic. I really think if you're able to express love to them in your own body on a soul level, why would they not feel that? Why would they not? That doesn't make any sense to me. If somebody else has a different opinion, please pop it down in the comments below, because I'm really curious about this thought process. And that book that I was reading called Twin Souls really hints on that. And so did this other meditation, or excuse me, not a meditation, but a woman that I was listening to. She's a guru. I can't pronounce her name, so I'm going to maybe post her information in the link below too, or in the description below, and let you listen to how she describes it. And it's just a matter of when these emotions spin up, getting to a place of surrender, and she just simply bows her head, and you sit in the moment with the thought, and it just dissipates. Now, granted, early on, or if you're like me, or if you're still continuing the negative looping, you know, months, years down the road, give this a shot, because so far it's been a hell of a weapon to have against this, and it's such a positive feeling afterwards. Like I said, the emotion behind it just sort of dissipates. So I just wanted to bring that up. But back to this aspect of love, I'm seriously looking at it from a different angle than I've ever looked at it before in my entire life. I used to think that love was how somebody made me feel, and it isn't. It's how I feel about me, and allowing that to vibrate out into the world. If I were a betting man or a gambling man, I would bet dollars to donuts right now that neither my ex or myself knew that at this moment in time. And maybe that is the ultimate, call it frequency adjustment for both of us, just based on her background and my background. We both probably were under the illusion that love was external and that we made each other whole, when with twin souls, that's not the case. You make you whole as one. The two of you become one. You need each other in the least because you are completely whole with yourself. And that's not to say, like, if you were to come together, break apart again, that it wouldn't be tried. The next evolutions and of these breakups as they come in, if it happens again, is again for your spiritual growth. Like, each one is knocking another rung off the ladder. It really is. So as they maybe pop in and out of your life, it's a little bit of a restart and probably a backtrack to some degree, or is it? Or is it just more growth within, to elevate yourself? So yeah, that's kind of one thing I just wanted to talk about, and just be openly and honest with you guys that I used to think I had a brilliant idea of what love was, but I've been missing it this entire fucking time. Not in a bad way, I don't think, but probably in an unhealthy way and a non-sustainable way. So I don't know if I'm making any sense. Sometimes the wisdom goes to left field a little bit, but it's just something I wanted to share about this journey, and just a sort of a self-realization that I'm coming to, because as you've noticed, probably if you've been following me for a while from my videos until now, that it's been a tremendous shift as far as my thinking and where these thoughts are coming from, and the things I'm studying and trying to learn, and just doing my best to get myself out of the negativity of a breakup, and not thinking it's some sort of punishment, when in fact it's honestly been an absolute blessing from every angle, but one of the most challenging things I've ever been through in my life. And if you've listened to my videos, there's been some rough waters in my life, where this, you always, in the moment, it probably, you might think it's the worst thing ever, but as far as like something beating the crap out of me every day on an emotional level, there isn't much that really compares to this. There's not, and I don't mean to laugh about it, but it is next level mind fuckery. And it really, if it's proven anything, it's proven sort of how infantile I am in some areas, and where those areas need to get shored up a little bit. And as much as I miss her, this has been the greatest gift I think she could have ever given me. And I hope, well, it's not that I hope anymore. I know that she has to be healing too. I'm convinced of that. I really believe that the amount of people that are talking about twin flame stuff, and people that are connecting to this now, lets me know that on a collective level, globally, something is going on. Something is truly shifting out there. There's no way. And granted, some of the people that might come on might, be confused with the karmic and this and that because of the breakup and how tumultuous it is. But for the most part, what I'm seeing is exact same scenarios, exact same situations, exact same emotions, and people are just very unsure about what is happening. And I hope that the woman that I'm going to post, she's a guru. I'm going to put her link. I hope that's legal and I don't get in trouble, but I'm going to do it anyway. and just show you what she says about this and what you can do in the act of surrender, because she describes it in such a delicate way about what this journey is all about and how it is more than just your typical relationship breakup. Like she talks about it. So yeah, let's keep going together on this. I'm going to do everything I can to just kind of tell you my story along the way. It seems to be resonating with people, and I hope, like how all of us get to share in the same dream. But something tells me with the mass amount of people shifting, there's going to be a mass amount of reunions as well. And it's all done by design to help out the craziness that's going on in the world right now. Love does triumph all. True love. Not the kind we used to search for. Authentic, true, unconditional love. And the world needs a bunch of teachers out there right now. So let's get it, you guys, all right? Love you.